Verts, Frimpong, it's Kirkes, Kept Salah, VVD. Pretty. Wait, you want Isak as well? Now, I'm going to go on the record and say I don't think this is going to happen. I refuse to believe it's going to happen. But all because I don't think it's going to happen, or because I think that this is being greedy. Liverpool, you're being greedy because you already are defending. If you weren't defending champions, I'd get it, but you're already defending champions. So I think this is being greedy. Let others eat as well. But because I don't believe it's going to happen, doesn't mean that there's no chance that it can happen. All right, let's just see what we're saying. So Liverpool approached Newcastle to discuss a record bid for Isak. Decision up to Newcastle as they never wanted to sell Isak and plan to offer a new deal, reports Fabrizio Romano. If Isak's unavailable, Liverpool can enter the race to sign Ekitike from Frankfurt. Now, I think TNT Sports said that, there was no approach, but I think it's Ornstein, for Fabrizio, several, I think The Athletic, almost every other channel said that, there's been an approach made. And it was almost like the worst kept secrets, because people have known that Liverpool, they want Isak. Nunes is currently learning both Kryptonian and Arabic. They want Isak. So Liverpool were always like, we need another striker. We need a replacement for Juan Torres, because I don't think they've had a striker since, Cannibal. So since like the Cannibal and the boy Torres. And Isak is arguably the hottest property out there. There's a little bit more. So Ekitike case remains open as Newcastle sent official bid close to 80 million on Monday. Eintracht once more. Liverpool can enter the race only if Newcastle close the door to Isak exits. Newcastle are still there pushing for Ekitike, but a lot depends on Isak. This is where things get very interesting. So guys, let's play a little game of buying and selling. So, I am Eintracht Frankfurt. What do I want as Eintracht Frankfurt? I want the most money for a very highly priced asset. So as Frankfurt, I want most money. So Frankfurt's doing that. Newcastle wants him. But Frankfurt, they're reading the markets. Frankfurt are doing the math. Frankfurt now know that Liverpool wants to get rid of Nunes. They probably want to ship him either to Siberia or to Metropolis to say what's up to Kalel. Liverpool wants Isak. But if Newcastle are not willing to sell Isak, Liverpool are going to go to Ekitike. And what do? You want to get a bidding war. Because what is a bidding war? You get the highest possible price. So what Frankfurt's now going to do is, let's wait and see how this plays out. Because if Newcastle say no to Isak, Frankfurt will wait. And then they will see who will bid highest. And 100%, Ekitike will be cheaper than Isak. That is obvious. And Liverpool, the fact that they're even looking at Isak means that Liverpool can spend 120, 130, because they know it's going to take at least 120 or 130 for Isak. So Liverpool like, fine, if we're not going to get Isak, we're going to get Ekitike for cheaper. So what this really depends upon is how badly do Newcastle want Ekitike? Because this is so interesting. Let's do even more math. Why do Newcastle want Ekitike if they already have Isak? Competition for a place? Possibly. We want to play two strikers? Possibly. Or thinking ahead. They know they can't keep Isak. They know that they're eventually going to sell him. They know Isak will probably want to move on. So think 3-4 years in advance. So what they want is by the time Isak is gone, you already have a player well-versed into the system. So once Isak leaves, Ekitike has already hit the ground running. He's already used to the Newcastle team. He's already used to the Premier League. So what people are saying is this: Ekitike is a future-proof replacement for when Isak eventually leaves. But it seems as if Newcastle ain't going to be, because Liverpool have just made things very complicated. Because if there is a bidding war, Liverpool win that bidding war. And my thing is, I'll keep it real with you. If you're Isak, this is interesting. See, if you're Isak, Newcastle are heading in the right direction. You're a superstar. It's a great city. I've been to Newcastle. I'll drop the vlog. I'm gonna drop the vlog of Newcastle, of my time at Newcastle, because I actually went to the St James's Park. Amazing stadium. Amazing stadium. I don't know how it's bigger than Stamford Bridge, but it is what it is. It's an amazing stadium. So amazing stadium, amazing community, great fan, one of the best fans in the world. So it's cool, but you never know how things will be in the future. And the reality is this: it is Liverpool. And Liverpool's history and what they can do and what they are set up right now, there's far more likely that Isak can win a Champions League and Premier Leagues, plural, with Liverpool than he can with Newcastle. That's just the reality. I'm not trying to be rude to Newcastle, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. I'm just being realistic. So for Isak, he's like, okay, like, and if you're Newcastle, if you're Newcastle and you're serious about being a big club, you sell Isak. There is no price. Literally no, unless these guys drop like a 180, where you can pretty much buy a new team. Fine, but here's the thing: if I'm Newcastle, and listen right, if I'm Newcastle, there's no price. 200, 250, 260. There's no price, because if you're serious about trying to win the league, if you're serious about, no, we are now a big club now, trying to win the league, trying to win the Champions League, there is no price that you can put on Isak. None. Because he's too valuable. And we need him to win these trophies. We need him to be a big club. And even more so now, this is 2025. This ain't 05 or 06. This ain't 95 or 96. There are no strikers. There are no strikers in the markets. So having a quality striker is gold dust. That is gold dust, because they're a rare breed. It's a damn rarity. It's like finding a freaking diamond in the rough. So from that point of view, if you're Newcastle and you are serious about playing with the big boys like Barcelona, like Real Madrid, like Chelsea, like PSG, Liverpool, you sell Isak. No, sorry. And you're serious? You don't sell Isak. There is no price for Isak. He is completely unavailable. I'll be real with you guys. Isak will know that Liverpool are interested. His head may will be turned. Because if you're Isak, again, I don't know Isak. Isak could be, I like Newcastle. I like the club. I like the fans. I like the people. I want to stay here. Or Isak could be, I want to be ambitious. And Isak is that Ian Rush, Robbie Fowler, Fernando Torres, the human cannibal. They have had some top strikers. European Cup winners several times, Premier League winners. The state of that team. World Cup year. A World Cup year as well. But put that to one side. This is the reality here. And I think, you see, we live in the real world, not the ideal world. In an ideal world, everybody gets to keep the quality players. Everybody gets to keep their superstars, and this is what it is. Liverpool is a step up from Newcastle. No, but that's wrong. But Newcastle are a big club as well. Look at their fanship. I'm speaking facts here. You can choose to accept or deny it. I am speaking facts. This is not an opinion. This is not an viewpoint. This is pure science. This is just facts. Deal with it. Newcastle to Liverpool, that is an upgrade. That is a step up. And Isak knows it's a step up. So if Isak is serious about, I want to be considered one of the best strikers in the world and one of the best strikers of my generation, and in order to do that, I need to be a striker that leads a team to league titles, a striker that leads a team to UCLs, you go to Liverpool. Because the reality is, in the way that the world is, Newcastle are not winning multiple Premier Leagues in this iteration. Newcastle are not winning multiple Champions Leagues in this iteration. Liverpool are capable of winning several Premier Leagues in this iteration. They're capable of winning several Champions Leagues in this iteration. And to be talked about in the same breath as a Benzema, a Lewandowski, a Cannibal, and all these guys, you need to win a Champions League. You need to win several league titles. And you need to be instrumental in a league title and a Champions League. You can't do that at Newcastle. You can do that at Liverpool. But this will depend. But Isak could very much be, because here's the thing, I'll flip it. Isak could be, I can make something here at Newcastle. We just won the Karabuki, beating Liverpool. And we could do something here. Why can't I build something at this club here? Because I'll tell you this, similar to Mbappe, Isak leads Newcastle to a Premier League title. In my view, he's a bigger legend than Shearer. People will say no, because the Newcastle will say no. So Shearer, the amount of goals he scored, all-time Premier League top scorer, what he means to Newcastle. He's from Newcastle. In a footballing sense, forgets home tax and everything. If Isak leads Newcastle to a Premier League title, he's a bigger legend than Shearer, because Shearer never did that. Shearer led Blackburn Rovers to a Premier League title. Shout out to SAS, Shearer, and Sutton. He led Blackburn to a Premier League title in the 94-95 season, but he never led his hometown to Newcastle. So Isak could be leading Newcastle to a Premier League title is far more valuable than leading Liverpool to a Premier League title. I would lead, because even if he leads Liverpool to a Premier League title, you'll just be one of many others. You lead Newcastle to a Premier League title. That statue I see of Bobby Robson and that statue I see of Shearer that I saw outside of St. James's Park, I must see one of Isak there as well. They're building you a statue. Simple. But I want to bring in Ekitike into there as well. So I saw some clips of your boy Ekitike, Frankfurt dude. And when I saw, I think I've did before, for me, he feels like a better version of Cody Rhodes. And I can see why both teams want him. The way the Premier League is, and the way the Premier League operates, Ekitike is perfect for the Premier League. You see, I still feel Gyökeres is a damn talented striker. And I still feel like if people are being too hard on him, but I can see how Ekitike would fit better in the Premier League than Gyökeres would. Because Ekitike, he's more athletic, he's more dynamic, he has better balance on the ball. He can take the ball from deep and attack guys. There's more movement within him. And when you just look at the speed of the Premier League, the athleticism of the Premier League, how intense it is, you need to be athletic. You need to be dynamic. You need to be able to move around the pitch. You need to be mobile. Because for mobile players, our guys are suitable because the Premier League is extremely demanding with no winter break. So I think that looking at Ekitike, who is still a bit raw, I think his footballing fundamentals and his characteristics are perfect for the Premier League. Perfect for Newcastle, who play a very physical game. And I think it's perfect for Liverpool because I think he is similar to Cody Gakpo, but just a more talented version of Cody Gakpo. So I can see how he fits in for both sides. And this is a guy who I think can play striker and can play in the wing. So you can either play him wide or you can play him as a striker. So I can just see why he is so useful for both Newcastle and Liverpool. So the idea is, again, just to recap, the idea is for Newcastle to have both. Newcastle pull up with both Ekitike and Isak. Newcastle are going to be a very dangerous team next season. I don't think this means, Premier League title, but I think Newcastle will be a very dangerous team. And I think, not only that, if they get Ekitike and they keep Isak, that is a massive statement. Because what Newcastle are saying is that we're not a small club. And we are here to compete. And we are here to take things to the very next level and try and say, no, we're now part of the discussion about this whole Premier League thing. That's part of this whole Premier League thing. But this is how I start this whole thing. Liverpool might have had the best summer. When you look at the players that they've bought, they might have had the best summer. And it's not only the players that they've bought, it's the players that they've kept. The state of Liverpool's team is very good. Bench is questionable. That first team is extremely strong. That spine of Alice in Wonderland, Van Dijk, Gravenberch, Mac-10, Salah, that is a very strong spine. If Liverpool pull up next season with Isak, I don't know who stops them. A Liverpool team that has Isak, Salah, Diaz in attack, and he can bring in Cody Gakpo, I don't know who stops these guys. And there's a very key thing as well. I probably wanted to do a video on this. There is a whole Diogo Jota thing. There's the whole thing of like, we've got extra motivation. We've got extra motivation here. We want to do this for Jota. This season is for Jota. This season is dedicated to Jota, and we just have that extra motivation to see what's up. So with that kind of Jota thing in there, just for an extra emotional motivation, but they pull up with Isak. Should never assume in football, but Liverpool's team is looking redonkulous. They've gone beyond the test threshold. You know, there's a test threshold. They're pretty much like Stone Cold Stunner and pretty much done like a freaking uppercut, like a thunder uppercut on the test threshold if they pull up with Isak. I don't think it's going to happen. I doubt it will happen. But if it does happen, it might be game over and GG's for the rest of the Premier League. Think about becoming a Football Hut member. If you're a desktop merchant, just click on the join button below, over here. Or if you're a mobile phone merchant, just click on the join button below the video over here and join the true elite content crack addicts. Peace.